Welcome to Hades Hacks 101. And then the window popped when I said that. Okay, so I got this little idea and I said it out loud and I was like, oh my God, that's too good. I've got to do this, right? Okay, so there's a lot of funky codes coming in right now, peoples, right? So way back when, so in case you missed it, right? Earth is the, seventh? Or is it eighth? Who can remember? Interplanetary physical location that there has been a matrix or a time loop is how you could also describe that, right? A time spiral, a paradox of epical proportions that was hacked for disresonant coding purposes to, in some way, put people on a loop of never-ending, perpetual going. I'm not even going to use a G for that because I don't think it deserves a G, homies. Okay? So that's how I feel about that. Anyways, we've done this a few places now. You know what I mean? I put that on there kind of wrong, I think. But I got to turn that. Hold on. What's going on with the tripod here? I was like, I can't hold this phone. This is too much for me as a being. You know what? I think that's fine. Is that okay? Is that fine? Help. I knew I was going to record today. I just didn't know how I was going to start. And I was like, maybe we could go get a latte first. But then that's not happening. So it's fine. We're here now. Anyways. So Andromeda won what we would, see as the constellation of Andromeda. Andromeda was first. And then the hater clicked, right? So because this universe kind of came from the universe next door. So first there was the universe next door. And this was just a whole bunch of stars floating in the sky. Well, stars have consciousness. Stars have energy, right? Lots and 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 a metric holy fuck ton of energy is produced when a star is born, right? So imagine that, I don't know, I gotta be honest, I don't even fucking remember anymore at this point, really what happened. It was so fucking long ago, we're playing a broken record. But kind of the best way that the guides are telling me to describe it is imagine a bunch of disresonant beings long, long ago in a galaxy, literally far, far fucking away. I'm not joking. The galaxy next door. Imagine the galaxy next door, a long ass time ago. Oh my God, who even remembers who that guy was, there were some disresonant beings and they were like, you know what we need? To siphon a bunch of energy because we don't have enough of our own, right? It all boils down to vampirism. So it's those beings came into this universe and started trying to take energy from stars, right? Well, the stars speak amongst themselves. And the stars were like, excuse the fuck out of me. Who the fuck do you think you are? Coming in here, trying to fucking take our energy? Do you mind, my good dude? And they were like, yeah, we fucking mind. And the stars were like, oh, you want to go, homie? And the stars were not having any of that shit. No. Okay, so that happened. And Michael just woke up, FYI. This is how Michael gets to wake up. I'm like, hello, good morning. I've been awake for 3 hours now. I've been to 12 different universes. I have been all around the world, literally talking with my clients. Let's go everywhere this morning just by talking to me clients. Vibes, whatever. So I needed a sip of coffee. Hold on. I need another one. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. That is damn fine coffee. Oh, if you know, you know. So, Earth was coated with each of the places that originally had a matrix, a time matrix put on them, right? So interplanetary locations are supposed to function in what is called a time flow. A hack was discovered for this, which turned it into a time spiral, or a time loop, or a time matrix. To hack the hack, you have to restore the original flow of time, like a river, to the collective consciousness and reality coding of that interplanetary location. Earth, being a portal planet, means that it is supposed to function as not only an interplanetary location, but also a portal to different places. Right? However, those portal functions and features, the portal functions and features of Earth had to be shut off because of the disresonant beings doing the ick. And this is why we can't have nice things here, okay? So what's happening? It's not like we really have to do anything, I'm gonna be honest. Like, the mechanics got switched on. Planets, it's a smart planet, honeys. Like, nobody fucking actually looked at the source coding of this planet before they tried anything. First of all, it'll self-destruct if it doesn't have magic. That's written into the source coding because it was like, not this one, motherfuckers. Right? That already happened in the Pleiades. No. Earth has a different source code than any other location ever. Earth is like the mastermind planet. Earth is like the best of the best came together and we're like, oh, you want to fucking play, Holmes? We got literal eternity. We don't die. We're eternal. We're fucking stars. We're consciousness. We're a stream of consciousness of one very specific frequency, one very specific energy. It's not just about doing this all day. Literal eternity. Like, Dormammu did not know how to bargain, actually. But we do. Okay? But it's like so far beyond Dune. Like, Dune tried, we think in millennia. Honey, we don't have a concept of time because it's a unit of measurement. It's like, I live in North Carolina in the United States. We don't use the metric system here. So, like, for some people, that's very real. And for me, it's not. But 3 football fields is an adequate length of measurement that I can envision in my mind because that's the programming of the collective consciousness I've been immersed in for 36 years now. And that's just how it works. And if I was somewhere else, I'd be immersed in a different collective consciousness. Oh, shit. And so would you if you were somewhere else. Oh, maybe we could start to, like, open that perspective and start to think about, like, well, what would it be? I think about this all the time. I'm like, what would it be like to live somewhere where the metric system was like the vibe? Who would I be? I think about her a lot. I feel like there's like a version of me out there somewhere that's like metric-y. I tune into her a lot. Like, what are you up to? She uses a scale to measure things when she bakes, but I think she bakes. So, I mean, I can't bake for shit, but I mean, I use a cup. And where I grew up in Oklahoma, it wasn't even a measuring cup. It was just this one particular cup. Like, my grandma's recipes were all coded to this one cup, but it was not a standard cup, okay? That was confusing when I grew up. Anyway, so all goes back to Andromeda. So Andromeda carried down from the galaxy of Andromeda to the constellation of Andromeda in this galaxy to the Pleiades. Some crossover with Hydron coding down into Earth with Lemuria and with various what people have called seed civilizations all over the world. There is no one location on Earth all over the world, okay? Nobody just had one location. Like, that's not how this worked. It was a mastermind of the best of the best. That's how Earth got created. So when we're all like, fuck this planet, I hate Earth, it's very easy to do that because it's real rough here right now. But it's like, imagine like the best place ever got turned into like the ick of the ick. You know what I mean? But that's why we're here. That's why we're here doing these things. That's why it's like, you know, Operation Earth. And the heater agrees. Thanks, Bernie. We named the multidimensional heater spirit that clicks when we say something correct, Bernie. I don't know why, but that's what came through. So thanks, Bernie. We also have Bob and we have Frank. So there's that. Frank reads us the frequencies. Frequency Frank. Oh my God. I love it. That's so multidimensional baddie. That's hot.
Frequency Frank.
Oh, what? Do that again.
Business Bob and Frequency Frank.
Wow. If everybody needs their hand fan, that's okay with me. That's, I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine. Like, as he just woke up. Wow. Anyways, where's my hand fan? That's okay. I've got a painting. That's fine. I'll fan. No, this is good. I've got a hand fan right here. I'll fan myself with a grid. It's all good. It's all fine. Oh no, Mira, I don't want to smack you in the face with the grid. I painted this new grid. It's gold metallic on a black, like, hard board canvas. It's really pretty. I haven't photographed it yet. It's not ready for its close-up. Miss Dumaine. Oh, my hand pan! Thank you, darling. That was fabulous. I appreciate that. You always need a good prop. Speaking of which, let me get a sip of coffee. One of my private clients told me that she was glad I went to theater school because she enjoys all of the fun voices that I use when I send her audios. And I was like, that degree's coming in handy. Can I tell you about my last directing piece in college real quick? I came up with this we had to do what was called a haiku. And so the English students would write haikus, and then the acting directing students for our like final directing project would pick a haiku, and those were the only words that could be uttered in the entire piece, including the music. So I had to edit all of the music myself. I edited my own music. There is a recording of this somewhere on the internet, as far as I know. I'm going to have to look for it. It's on like my old YouTube account, but I believe it's there. We should steal it and then steal it from myself. We'll take it from my old YouTube account. I don't know how to get back into my old YouTube account, so we should just like grab it and then re-upload it to something. But I had a girl who looked as close to me as possible. It was autobiographical. I had a girl who looked as close to me as possible. Well, there were three of us. So there were three of us who we looked very similar. We were about the same height. We were all three brunettes, similar features. We all like had a period where we had like long, like almost curtain bangs. You know, it was like 2009. No, that was like in 2009, I think, when we had the bangs. But it was like 2010 already. But you know, this was like 2011. So one of the girls, she was like the lead. So she was like having a little bit of a minty bee. I mean, who wasn't? In 2011. I don't know about you, but I was having a great year, but I was also, I was seeing so much shit on the interdimensional planes. I was like, I have got to be actually like crazy. Like, I mean, I thought I was literally crazy. I didn't know what was going on, you know? So yeah, there was her, I had a character dressed up as the Harlequin character from Commedia dell'arte theater, which is a style of theater from the 1700s where they dressed in like the diamond patterns, and they had the masks, right? Everybody except for the main character was wearing a eye mask, just eyes, but with, like, they could see, but the rest of their face, but just the eyes, right? Just the eyes. And I had painted, like, I hand painted all of the masks with specific symbols. The shit was wild, right? Like, and then then I was like, oh, I wasn't doing too good of a job at painting them. So then I enlisted the help of one of my friends who was like an artist. She helped me like like finish them. I can't remember what we were doing. I think she helped me. Or maybe I did it. Now I think about it, I can't remember. Anyways, we got the masks painted. And no, maybe I did it because I think I had to make like everything in the fucking. No, I had to do it. That was it. She showed me on something. She didn't help me with the masks. I just remembered because I had to do everything. I made the costumes. I painted the masks. I edited the music. I ran the lights. I directed it. I had to do everything. It was insane, right? It was so crazy. So yeah, but she did show me, I got like extra masks, and she was like teaching me how to like paint these masks. Cause I hand painted these masks with like specific symbols and stuff that like nobody even knew was in there, but it was like, I had to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was it. Cause like she was like, I want to help you. And I was like, you can't. Cause like if somebody helped, like you would you'd basically fail. Like it was crazy. Like it was really wild. So, but she did show me. That was a loophole. She was able to show me like, here's how you do this. Like I had like my stage manager came in for my one act that I was directing at the same time. Because I was also directing a one act play at the same time. Because that wasn't crazy enough. Yeah, it was really wild. Final time in theater school had you like Minty B, honeys. Okay. Like I would literally just be sitting somewhere like crying because I was so exhausted, because like you would just go for, it was like 3 weeks straight. You would just go, you would not stop, because it started like, if you were in children's theater too, it started like, it was like 6 weeks of hell. It was horrible. They actually called the week before a show Hell Week. That was what it was fucking called. Like, it was like, welcome to Hell Week. Like, these people were crazy, okay, y'all? Like, college traumatized me. I'm not even joking. But anyways. So yeah, so we had, it was really wild. So I had all my secret symbolism woven up in here. So yeah, so we had our main character. We had theater dressed as Harlequin from the 1700s and Commedia dell'arte. We had, a man who, the main character, the girl who played the main character, she ended up later going on to marry. It was really cute. So he, and it was also cute because they had like kind of broken up, but I was like, I need you guys to do this because like, this is really important for my project. And they were like, they were professionals and they did it. But then like, they got back together like right after that. And I was like, score! I was doing a little interdimensional matchmaking. What can I say? And as far as I know, they're still together. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with them, to be honest, in the past. I think the last time I saw anything about them was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. But 5 or 6 years ago, I think they had a baby or something. But anyways, so that was cute. But yeah, he was dressed up like Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, because obviously. And I had already started having my past life on Earth memories. Thank you very much. And then we had the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And so War was dressed as a man in a black business suit with his mask on, don't forget. Young guy, great hairstyle. Later, had a Minty Bee. Everybody had a Minty Bee there. That was a wild night. He was like, there was a weird fucking frequency in the air, and it was crazy. There was a lot of Catholic symbolism involved. And then one day he literally just disappeared from the planet. I've tried to find him repeatedly for years. Googled, and he to my knowledge, he didn't excarnate or anything. But he like disappeared. Just completely disappeared. It was really crazy. Then we had, not saying that was connected to my project or anything, but that was a very strange summer, actually, in Durant, Oklahoma. Then we had pestilence. also in a black business suit with his mask. He's fine. Everybody else in this project was fine. It was just that one guy. But he had kind of a troubled past anyways, from what we were later told. It was like a whole situation that's so wild. I'd actually completely forgotten about this until right now. He had stayed with me for a period of time after he had his little episode, because he didn't have anybody to stay with and he needed somebody to stay with. And I was a responsible senior. And I had a guest room. And nobody else did. And so, yeah. Anyways, totally forgot about that. Yeah, so we had Pestilence, guy, black business suit. We had a Famine. That was one of my besties at the time. Love you, Aaron. And me and him and Rowdy used to go get his real name was Rowdy. Love you, Rowdy. Used to go get barbecue all the time and sushi, and we used to go out, on like lunch dates and debate theater things. So, like, just for fun, it'd be like, okay, do you want to play, we would debate, like, which is better, Method or Meisner? And then we were all Meisner actors was the best part. But to improve our acting skills, one of us, or maybe two of us, or maybe all of us would pretend to be method actors. Like, we were actually, like, debating this. And we would sit around with, like, our barbecue and our banana pudding in Durant, Oklahoma, like acting like we were, or we just debate the most ridiculous stuff, but like in an acting style so that we could become better actors. Like, it was wild. It was a whole experience. It was pretty fucking fabulous. Not gonna lie. It was great. Anyway, so Aaron was Famine, and he was dressed as like a Greek god type carrying some grapes. Not Dionysus though. And funnily enough, when he made his entrance, so it was like a black box theater that we had like it was like an installation set piece that created like the illusion of entrances. So it built it was a black box, but it had like almost like a proscenium fitted into it as a set piece. So it was really cool, actually. It was like installed into the theater and it didn't move. And it had double doors that you could open. You could take them off the hinges. You could replace them or whatever with something else. It had a spiral staircase with another door entrance at the top. So you had like 2 levels of entrances. There was, stage left, stage right. And if you wanted to, you could even create double entrances on the floor on stage left and stage right through hanging curtains, because we had a grid installed. It was really cool, actually. It was quite cool. And it was really cool, too, because when I started college, they were in the process of designing that theater. So I got to watch the whole process of them like take this raw space and go in and go like literally like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this here. We're going to put this here. We're going to have a spiral staircase here, because they utilized a lot of like spiral staircases. They did a lot of like dinner theater and stuff like that. And they were really into like like the wrought, like the iron spiral staircase vibe. So, the theater chair was like, why not just install one? Then we can stop moving this thing all over the fucking place. It's gonna live here, He was wild. He was really into puppets. And projecting things onto screens. It was an interesting time to be alive, people. So, yeah, and then Death was the other girl who also looked like me, and the girl who played the main character. And she was wearing, funnily enough, it was my junior prom dress. It was this hot red dress, and she had her hair mask on too. And she entered from the top where the spiral staircase was, and she threw long red ribbons from the top balcony, because it was like this little balcony that you would enter on. So you'd open the door. The door would be open or whatever, and you would enter onto the balcony, and then you could walk down the spiral staircase from there, and like 2 or 3 people could fit on the balcony at one time. So, yeah, she entered. She threw these long red ribbons that were like, I don't know, I got like 50 feet long ribbons, so that they would stretch from the top of the balcony down to the floor of the theater. She dropped them, so it was like she's in the red dress, and it's all everything else is like black, white. We have her then in the red dress, red ribbons, right? She drops them down, and then she walks down the spiral staircase, and then they all like went around the girl, and she's like having her minty bee in the like middle of the thing, and then she stands up, and it all goes silent. And I had like all of these different sounds, and I had like this, it was like this cacophony of like sounds, and I had all this different music. I had like an instrumental of, I remember I used like Tainted Love when death came in. So anyways, right at the end, it's like, it like reaches the like fever pitch, and then she like stops everything, and it's silent because she screams, right? And there's a balloon. There was a balloon somewhere in there, like a black balloon. There was a black balloon in there somewhere. I don't remember where, but anyways. And they were like handing her all this like very symbolic stuff. I have a black balloon tattoo, if you didn't know. It is a bit of my lore. Inspired by a song by The Kills, Black Balloon, which was one of my favorite songs at the time. And I still love it. It's great. So yeah, she screams, and then she said, "Silence, be quiet, for it is winter, and the trees are sleeping now." And it was so cool. And then it just all went to black, and then it was like, done. Snaps. Because you had to snap afterward. You didn't clap, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was my final directing project. And I wanted to tell you that story because I gotta be honest, I did that in 2011, and it's like, damn, she was prophetic, y'all. I mean, all I'm saying is, whoo! I knew it was coming, like the oracle was oracling. Anyways, if you know, you know. Yeah, so this all goes back to Andromeda, though. That's where the concept of like angels and demons and the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the church and blah, 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 blah. That's where that all started. It was in Andromeda 1, though, not in Andromeda 2. So basically, Andromeda 1 was the first location to get hacked. So it's like they couldn't hack Andromeda 2. It was too big, and there was too much fucking magic, y'all. I mean, it was just like, you want to what? Like, bleh. So they thought, oh, well, we'll go into this universe next door. Nobody's going to notice what we're doing. They thought nobody would notice, but we did. We noticed. We fucking noticed, because did you know that the Milky Way galaxy and the Andromedan galaxy are on a head-on collision course? In like, I don't know, a few billion years or something. Maybe it's a few million at this point. Who knows? They're going to come into basically like an orbit with each other, and they're going to start to assimilate. It's going to look like a Vesica Pisces. So the two galaxies are one day going to become one. And if you're immortal as a consciousness, if you exist across all of space and time, if there is no end ever, it doesn't matter if it's billions or millions of years away, because that's just an eventuality that one day you will have to face. So it became necessary to remove the ick from this galaxy, because the ick and the magic cannot coexist. I'm going to say a quote. I do not like the source of this quote on this planet, but it's the pop culture programming, okay? Neither can live while the other survives. That's actually what I was talking about. Okay? It's talking about you cannot exist in the frequency of fear and the frequency of joy. You cannot exist in the frequency of pain and the frequency of love. You know what I mean? This imbalance has to become resolved. This duality has to become resolved, right? Because the duality just cannot continue like this. It's like enough is enough. So time to release those codes and programmings and such. Righty? Ho, people? So, we're currently experiencing a replay of the first, which makes it the last replay for Earth because it's backwards, right? So we're experiencing a replay of the first hack now. Earth has experienced all of the other locations that had the time matrix, time flow situation. Earth's experienced an imprint of those, right? Now, the thing to keep in mind is that a lot of mind games have been played. So things that seem really scary weren't. But they've gotten in our heads and they've convinced us that they were. So it's like I was talking to Michael, about how, in the movies, they make it seem like vampires are really badasses, right? I've met a whole bunch of people that claim to be vampires on Earth. And quite frankly, they all have bad backs. One swift wind would knock them right over. They're, they're not fierce. They're not ferocious. They have fake fangs. It's just kind of really, we can see what color your skin really is next to your white pasty makeup, and it's not a look, anyways, just saying. At least I tried to match my makeup to the rest of my face. You know what I mean? I was going for a luxury witch vibe here. I just was undercover at the goth club. What can I say? It's a location that you meet many interesting people. It got me a fast track ticket to my Michael, so who gives a fuck? And if you thought I was doing anything other than that there, I would like to dissuade you of that opinion right now. I was just looking for my fucking angel, bitch. Oh, yeah. Cheap fiddles. What can I say across space and time? They're cheap fiddles. They're all cheap fiddles, okay? So they act like they're big baddies. They act like they're big bosses. They're all cheap fiddles. They're all cheap fiddles, okay? And they're kind of just getting played. So we just got to sit back, relax, and receive. Get your popcorn, kids. Just watch. Another interesting pop culture reference that the guides shared earlier was to use a Bogart code, right? So the concept of or a boggart, right? The concept of the boggart in that one series where it's this thing that tries to turn into the thing that you fear the most. But if you turn it into something you find funny, it has no power over you, right?
Ridiculous.
Exactly. So it's make the things that you fear ridiculous and they will become obsolete. Problem solved. Make the things you fear ridiculous and they will become obsolete. It's not that hard. But we have to stop feeding them the fear that they so much desire. They want that fear. They want you to be afraid. They want you to go down the rabbit hole. They want you to overthink. They want you to have the self-doubt. They want you to do all this bullshit, right? Stop giving it to them. You're feeding them your energy like a buffet of you. No. I couldn't do that if I had to. I don't even know what I was saying. So I was talking in a code, y'all. No. I can't. No. I can't. It was 1 in a million.
1 in a million.
I was talking with one of my private clients this morning, and I was like, I want to host VIP retreats where we just sit around and I teach everybody how to get high properly on completely legal THCA until THC is legalized here, but completely legal. I have a receipt and everything. Thank you. Because I found that many people just really don't know how to actually smoke properly. And so I was like, we can utilize my massive bong collection. This is why I'm collecting so many bongs. That's why I can host retreats where just everybody, you don't need to bring your own bong to a luxury witch retreat. You just need to select your favorite color. If I gotta go buy more bongs, honey, oh no. You know what I mean? Bill blows my, I have my own personal collection of bongs, but then it's funny. Some of the bongs that I have, I can tell, I'm supposed to have them, but I rarely use them. And I know now it's because I'm collecting for the collective, right? So we're gonna smoke. We're gonna watch Legally Blonde and Miss Congeniality. We're going to have a strut shop. We're going to, hot tub situations. We need 12 hot tubs for you know what I mean? We need pools, jasmine scented pools. You know what I mean? I need a full, bath situation. You know what I mean? Lounging, like a water spa, I need that. Okay. So we'll have that. And, you know, we can lounge in the garden. And then we'll just like mastermind all of our fabulous business ideas. It'll just be really fun and amazing. I think that sounds great. So, anyways, that's on the agenda. And I want to have an annual Witchery U reunion. I think starting next year, I think for Harvest Road, because I thought about trying to do something this year. And I got very intimidated by that very quickly. So I need a couple of more who's in place before we like go balls to the wall with stuff like that. Because Michael and I just don't. Michael's a projector and I'm a manifester. We don't have that kind of energy. We need like a generator or some shit. I don't know. This is not going to work for me.
Have we hosted events before and did it all ourselves? Yes.
Yes, we have. But
we have, but
we it's not yet time. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. But I'm thinking, I feel like for year 10, because that's next year, I feel like that'd be really, like, you know, year to start something new. 1-0. It's a 1 year for Harvest Rose. And it's a 1 year for the collective. So I just feel like that's like a vibe, right? Isn't it? Wait, hold on. Is it? It's going to be 2026. Mm-hmm. Which is 226, which is 10. Yeah, so 1-0. And for me too. It's a 1 year for me as well. So that's fun. But yeah, I just feel like that's a vibe. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I've gotten tired now. We're taking it back. Take it back. We're just finishing the imprint of Andromeda 1. This is the 5th year of this collective alchemical cycle, which is the dark night of the soul, and we're keeping it sexy.
We keep it sexy.
Okay, like that's our only option here right now. We've just got to ride the fucking wave. Ride the fucking wave, okay? Hold the torches. Hold the line. Dismantle that fear coding everywhere that you can, that you find it, because you're doing a lot more when you do that for yourself than you realize. You're not just doing it for yourself, you're also doing it for the collective. So when you tune into these things that you can control, that you can tune into, that you can energetically affect, right, via what you're transmuting for yourself, you're also affecting the collective. You're doing that for the collective. You don't see what's happening, but you will. Right? When you plant a seed, you do not see the first bit of growth whatsoever. It looks like nothing's happening. But then the earth begins to move. And then that might seem like, if you were very small, like everything was breaking apart. But what's really happening is that seed is bursting forth to bring new life. So the ground has to actually break for the seed to come through it, right? And that's what we're experiencing right now. The ground is breaking for the seed to come through it. So it looks like everything's ending, but it's actually a new beginning, right? Because then from the 5th stage, we go into the final purification stage, where we're just like, oh, God, it's still hanging on. Get out of here. No. I got to get all hot. Time to get picked up by the interdimensional Uber. And then 2027 sees us enter the 7th stage of alchemy, which is the alchemical marriage. It is the final stage. We are now transported forth into the new reality. Congratulations. Alchemical process complete. You know what I mean? Do you think I had like a job interdimensionally as like the voice actress that's welcome to Arcturian 245? Yes. Congratulations, alchemical process complete. You know what I mean? Like, what can I say? It's what I do, you know?
Make some auto-tune, make it sparkly.
Yes, give me some auto-tune and make it sparkly. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. So, just keep all of this in mind. and ride the wave, and it's okay. It's no big deal. We've done this before, right? Like, it's literally, we're sitting here like we're the architects of the Renaissance. We're the architects of the new era. We're the architects of the new earth. We're sitting here like, well, yeah, I'm the architect of, this branch of new earth, but yeah, there's still dynamite in the hill, so we can start even looking at seeing where we're gonna, we know where we're gonna place it, but it's just like, yeah, they're doing demo over there, boys. So I'm gonna hit this here bong. Wait for them to be done. Roll up with my blueprints. You know what I mean? Like, the conservatory goes here. Like, that's what we're doing. We're all sitting around like, are they done yet? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what are you doing over there? Like, how long does it take to clear a grid? My God. What do you mean you haven't started removing the rubble yet? How the fuck am I supposed to get over there and put in the new foundations? Oh my God. It's taking forever. Ah! Wookiee noises intensify. I dressed up as Princess Leia for Halloween in the second grade. I'm always going to make every Star Wars joke I possibly can, because to make it even better, my dad dressed up as Darth Vader. And he came to school with me. And he even had the whole breathing apparatus. Like, this man went all out. He got his costume in LA. He went into like a costume shop in LA and was like, give me Vader. And he was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. I was like, Dad, I know that's you in there, but like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, too intense. This is terrifying. It was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh my God. Like, it was wild. He's like 6 foot something tall.
At least 6'2" to 6'4".
Yeah. 6'3" maybe? I don't know. He's tall, people. I'm 5'3". There you go. See, well, I'm like a girl Wookiee. What, you thought they sounded like Chewbacca? He's a boy Wookiee. What's wrong with you?
I know. I'm done.
I'm kidding. I just meant collectively. I was doing a bit, y'all. I'm sorry. I know my bits are quite realistic. Oh. One of my little brothers used to tell me that I was too good all the time. What can I say? Maybe it was too realistic. I don't know. I took it as too good. Like, clearly he meant I was just too good of an actress to. I could have been on the stage, but then I decided, why not just turn the world into my stage? That sounds like more fun. So I did. Anywho, so. Oh my God, we never finished the Hades hack. Okay, so way back in the day. Fun fact, I can connect mythology with the stars. Okay, so the Underworld for a period of time was Andromeda 1, because Andromeda 2 was like not the Underworld, right? So the mythological location of Hades, external to Earth, because you have to remember Hades wasn't just a god. Hades was like the underworld, remember? Right? So the being known as Hades himself came up with a few hacks, and he shared one with me, which was actually he's got a couple that he'd like to share real quick. So I do channel him. What can I say? He's a multidimensional baddie too. So one hack, being the king of the underworld himself, he'd like to share is, to make things funny that you fear, and to not give them power. That's really the biggest hack of the underworld, is to no longer fear the underworld. You know what I mean? Right? Then the other hack is to play the game of the underworld. You have to actually tune into the game of the underworld that you're in, right? Tune into where you are. You might be under the earth, or you might be on Earth, or you might be in Andromeda 1, or there have been other underworlds, like at one period of time, Aldebaran was an underworld, and at one period of time, Antares was an underworld. There have been different underworlds for different places, right? So redoing the one that he was rather advanced at playing, he'd like to remind you all that the best way to hack an underworld is to buy it. Everybody forgets Hades was the god of wealth, actually, before he was the king of the underworld. His mythology was conflated a bit, but doesn't mean that it wasn't accurate. It's just like, people have story arcs, characters have story arcs. Why not a god? He's allowed. He's a multidimensional baddie too. So anyways, just buy it. What is the wealth in the reality that you're in? He who has the most what is the most wealthy. And you have to really start to open your mind to where does wealth come from? What is the source of wealth? Not just I need to go out and amass money. People who don't have a lot of energy can't make a lot of money. Right? That's why people who are so tired have such a, who are going to a muggle job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. They have a really hard time getting their businesses off the ground a lot of the time because they're tired. Right? So then they have a hard time tapping into, their creativity as an artist. And then they have a hard time even fathoming how they would get, sales started or a website going or whatever. So then they just kind of end up, this part of this machine, right? Rather than building their own machine, rather than creating their own thing. However, somebody who has, I have infinite time, right? I have infinite time. So when I was sitting around with extremely limited money, I was tuning exclusively into how do I create infinite money? How do I access limitless wealth? And that's all through my own energy. And so the reason why I had limited financial income was because I had limited energetic access to myself, simply because of a lot of stuff I'd been through and a lot of things that I'd experienced, and because I needed to have a certain experience so that I could guide myself out of it, so that I could later have the full spectrum of how to guide others out of it, right? I'm kind of a shit leader if I can't guide a really wide range of people out of various scenarios to a better future. And the best way to do that is to have had the experience yourself, right? I went from having a successful multi-six-figure business to literally making $0 for several months in a row. And then I had to slowly build my way back up. Why did I, experience that? Because I needed to know how to do it from no muggle job. I had no corporate job. The first time I did it, I had a corporate job. What happens when you don't have another source of income? How do you do this when you're the one paying the bills? How do you do this when you're the one with the ability to make the money? How do you do this when there's no fucking way I would get hired anywhere? I've worked exclusively for myself for 7 years. I know too much. Nobody's gonna fucking hire me. Are you kidding me? Especially because I can't keep my mouth shut. I mean, I could, but I won't. Fuck that. Right? Why would I do that? Because I am a source of infinite wealth, and I knew that. So it was worth it to me to do whatever I needed to do, tuned back into, other skills that I had to make money, massively decreased the amount of bills that I had. So I decreased the amount of financial income I needed. Had to have the experience so that I could learn how to play the game. So that's the last Hades hack he'd like me to share with you right now, is to look to your own experiences to learn how to play the game your way. Stop looking to what other people are doing. Stop looking to other people's experiences. You have experiences and expertise and knowledge that I do not have, that somebody else does not have. And you've had those for a reason, because they're all a blueprint to your own most successful timeline. Because the more successful you are, the more you can take that success and do something for the world around you. That's how you play the game. So you want to tune into yourself. You want to tune it. You want to monetize your magic. You know what I mean? I posted a thread today that was like, if everybody just monetized their magic, we could just privatize the world. We could just, you know what I mean? We could just fund national parks privately. We could just build parks and playgrounds for, our, children and dogs and, selves privately. We could just fund healthcare privately. We could just do everything privately if we wanted to. Public isn't working too well, I gotta be honest. But that's kind of the key, is like most people can't fathom privately funding their own lives. So what if we just made that the norm? And the truth is, if you're listening to this, you're on the front lines of this. You're the front runner. You're the trailblazer. You're going first. It's not easy to go first. We're all going first. One person does not go first. Unless it's a solo mission, which this ain't. This ain't a solo mission. One person might just be a little bit ahead of the pack. Like, oh, what's over here? I've got the flashlight. I got the flashlight, y'all. That's it. I just got the flashlight. You know what I mean? I got the flashlight. I'm like, oh, don't go that way. There's brambles over there. I got one in my shoe. Pain in the ass. Don't do it. It's a trap, right? I've just done it early. I woke up early. Like I keep saying, I just woke up early. I made the coffee. I loaded the bong. We ready to go. Let's ride, That's all. So anyways, we'll be back later with more Hades hacks. That was a bit right from the god of wealth himself. And he'd really like everyone to know that. Like he's like, I'm done with the king of the underworld bit. God of wealth, bitches. So anyways, love you. Talk to you later. Bye.